Let us take a look at the 5 learning outcomes according to Gagne. These learning outcomes are observable and measurable, and these are two very important terms because the behavior must be seen and the behavior must be measured. To what extent is the student or the young child showing a particular behavior is important. So let's look at these. The first one is intellectual skills. And intellectual skills have to do with thinking, and thinking comes from knowing how. For the how of anything, it is important to organize and use verbal and mathematical symbols. So how do we organize? Will we classify? Will we make a list? Will we make a flow chart? Will we simply write down? Will we make a mind map? What will we do? How is something going to happen? That how is important. Now, when teachers precisely tell students what to do, make a flow chart, that is not very good for the students because the students do not have a choice to choose from. The teacher should simply let the students do it in a way they are comfortable with. And that is what good teaching should be doing, allowing students to show you what they are capable of and how they can deliver and show you that they know. Concepts and rules are important to solving a problem. You must have some rules, you must have some guidelines, you must have some principles on which you work. And all these demonstrate the intellectual skills, the ability to think. And thinking goes on in a classroom for as long as a teacher wants. When the teacher says right answer, done, thinking stops. As long as the teacher is what more, something else, can you add anything, any other ideas, thinking continues. And so that is what teachers should be doing, promoting thinking, not stifling it, not burning it out from classrooms. The second learning outcome is information. Knowing what? Okay, you've got the how, but can you tell me the what? What have you learned? How much have you learned? To what level or degree have you learned? The what, the content is now also important. So when we focus on content and we focus on process, because that is what the first two learning outcomes show. Number 1 is process, number 2 is content. That we want students to be able to display both. Generally and most unfortunately, students tend to be displaying only number 2 in our classes because all we want to know is the answer, the right answer. And if that is all the student can give, and the student cannot tell you how he got to the right answer, if he cannot tell you the process of his thinking, which really leads to metacognition, thinking about thinking. How did you get to the right answer? Oh, I just got it. Trial and error. It just happened. I just checked with my friend. Those are not intellectual skills. Those are mere excuses for getting the right answer. The student should be able to tell you as the teacher how he arrived at the right answer. What sorts of thinking were going on in that individual's mind. And you want the response from that student. Another student cannot tell you the thinking behind another student's answer. And so focusing on the same student and not moving away from that student to get to the right answer will indicate the first two learning outcomes: content, which is what, and process, which is how. And both are important for our students to provide to any teacher.